days and months and years right after that, when you're seeing shapes and all that, did you have any idea you had a new gift?
I mean, I knew there was something amazing happening, but at first I remember thinking, I'm seeing what I perceive to be math everywhere. But then I thought, I see somebody that's talking to themselves and they don't know they're crazy. What if I think I'm seeing math everywhere and I really don't?
Did you worry you were crazy?
For a while, I would go back and forth, but then I would draw it and it would make sense. And so I started making up my own symbols to describe it. And it turns out when I went back to school, I had the symbols that represented the same things. I just made up different symbols than what traditional math does.
They look kind of like this, right?
Yeah, these are fractals, and every shape in the universe is a fractal. Space-time itself is a fractal. Fractals are shapes that when you take them apart into pieces, the pieces are the same as the whole. So our veins, our lungs, our brains, our neurons, everything follows these fractal algorithms. Cancer, even everything.
I sound so smart. So you're sitting in the mall. And instead of just drinking like your Orange Julius, you're working on like these crazy drawings.
Right.
And I mean, it was just by chance some physicist walks by and sees your drawing?
Yeah, he looks over and he's like, what are you doing? Are you studying math? And I was like, I'm trying to describe, the structure of space-time discretely. Can space be cut infinitely smaller? Is there a limit? And so we started to talk and he goes, wow, this look very mathy. He said, but I've never seen anybody talk about it in layman terms. He goes, you have no idea how weird this is. And he said, have you ever thought about going back to school and taking a math class? And I was like, that sounds like a good idea.
Is it true he also said to you, this is the kind of thing people win Nobel Prizes for?
He said, I said, well, what if I've discovered nothing that's new? And he goes, people have won Nobel Prizes for finding better ways to describe or easier ways to describe very difficult concepts.
In studying your brain?
So functional MRIs kind of map thought, and so they found that I had conscious access to parts of the brain that we normally don't have conscious access to. Basically, they rewired itself. The brain has more plasticity than apparently, that was believed before, and it makes new connections, and depending on where those connections are made, you can actually have a gift. And some bad things that come, but you can also have a gift, and luckily, for me, this gift in math came with it.
They could figure all that out by watching your brain work, by seeing what synapses were firing and lobes that are normally, or parts of the lobes that are normally dormant were not for you.
So like if you're writing, the part of your brain that controls writing is using more oxygen because it's working, and it sees where your brain is using oxygen and how much. So when you're in there writing, it says, that controls writing. So they put me in there, have me do math, and then they watch what part of my brain works so they can see what areas are controlling math.
So how gifted are you?
It depends. Sometimes I'm way ahead because I can visualize it, but every once in a while, like when we did derivatives in calculus, everybody got it before me. I thought something's wrong with me. Then I realized it was two beams of light moving relative to each other, and then I was ahead of everybody else.
Wow.
But until I see it, the right way, the way the universe sees it, I don't get it. And that's my question is like, we can graph x squared, but how does the universe know what x squared is?
Again, you look out at this audience, are you seeing fractals?
Absolutely. Every single shape that exists is a fractal. And when somebody moves, it's like seeing picture frames, and the faster they move, if they start to accelerate, the picture frames get farther apart. If they slow down, the picture frames get closer together. And the rate that those picture frames change relative to light is how fast it's moving.
Does it tell you anything about life?
That's the funnest part about it. I love the philosophical side of where all this goes, because I want to know how things got here, where things are going, why they work the way they do, what are we all capable of. I think, I know we are all doing calculus constantly, because you can't walk, you can't catch a ball. If I throw you a ball and you catch it, you had to calculate the gravitational field, the arc of the ball, the time lag from the brain's signal to your hands to catch it, So we're doing all this math. It's just all in the background, because if we had to crunch it as an equation, it would take too long and we couldn't catch the ball.
But is this the future of humanity? Somehow we have greater access to our own minds, and we become, these incredible human computers that can do so much more than we can do right now.
I think it is. I really think it is, because it's for sure in everybody, and there's so much research in this right now that potentially in the next 20, 30 years, you're going to be able to get all sorts of upgrades.
Now what? You're going to be barred. You're going to be like Rain Man.
Now that I'm gone.
For being too good a player. So now what do you do? Now what do you do with your life?
Really interested in is I got into doing stocks and looking at fractal algorithms in the charts. And I'm going to be taking my Series 57 test so I can start trading for other people, because I've been averaging 31% APR.
You're hired.
So yeah, hopefully we can keep doing it.
Can you imagine having him as your money manager? To see the stock market this special way.
It's beautiful.
I love